Right, Chris Maduka is in the studio to discuss some of the leading stories making the rounds on the national dailies. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chigi.
You're looking
And
quite
good morning.
colorful this morning.
Yes, it's so deliberate.
Oh, why? Why would that be?
We're celebrating Gowon at 90.
Absolutely.
Wait, that was why you wore the colorful.
I guess it's worth it.
Okay.
Joshua, don't start. No, don't.
So, it's worth celebrating a leader like Gowon. He has, just like every human being.
Every human being does have.
But for him, since after the war, the Civil War, he has been a gentleman and has tried to live a straight life.
And a quiet one.
And he has been in the public domain, and he has been. I've had to have encounter with him severally. I find that he's a very simple and straight and honest human being.
All right.
So he's worth celebrating at 90 years. Some
All
people
right.
say for some of the decisions he took in the past, God, he kept me alive to see how they are turning out.
I like us to take this perspective where I found on the Weekend Trust. It says, my story by General Gowon, the truth about a Buri Accord. We fought to live together. I would have spared Ojukwu's life if he had not fled. And I'm thinking, is this like something coming from a man who has regrets, trying to bear his mind, right? What are your thoughts? Because you said that after the war, he started to live, upright, trying to be forthright.
Yeah.
Is he trying to like appease his conscience or trying to make right some of the wrongs that he probably, did during the war?
One thing about war is that, like the Igbo proverb said, there is no beauty in war. You don't beautify it. It's not like me and Joshua want to fight. And Joshua used to say, no, don't hit me at the face. Hit me here. This is where you hit me. We turn, it's not like you choose. When you say it's war, war is devilish. War does not know friends. War brings devastation. And the African proverb says, once you are able to tear the rope, once you tie it back, it will have bumps. It will never be complete again. Even when it's like complete, it's not more like a straight rope. You must have bumps where you have to join the rope. So for Nigeria to have gone to the war in the first place, and somebody had to process the war at that point, and then you're leading a whole lot of Nigeria against one region of the country. And there were some people described it as massive, what do you call it?
Massacre, genocide?
Genocide. Because, but whatever it turns out later, all that Gowon is saying now, that he has to reflect on his life after 90 years. It's only him that knows when, because he's also a man very close to his God. He's a Christian. So he and his God, he reflects his mind. He's looking back now.
Shouldn't he probably, if that is the case, maybe he's reflecting and he's regretting has some regrets about some of the things that he did. Isn't it better to come out openly and tender an apology?
He has tried to do it. Remember the man who started Nigeria Praise? Is Gowon. He has taken Nigeria Praise to those areas where people are still nurturing, have a lot of grudges. He has taken Nigeria Praise, he has launched in Asaba. The Asaba massacre.
At his age, it's quite commendable.
Before now, he has started the Nigeria Praise that Gowon started is more than 30 years. And whether Nigeria is still praying now or not is still a matter that we really need to. But he, at the point, find out that Nigeria really need to pray, because some of them that fought and have to kill fellow brothers to keep Nigeria one, may have some regrets, but some of the things that caused that war and genocide, and people are still talking about it in 2024. So for him, he will reflect and said, Was that decision the best? If it was the best, then that's why he said, if Ojukwu has not ran away to Ivory Coast, he would have spared his life.
You know,
Quite
some people
cool
will doubt that because it is actually attributed to Gowon that he breached the Aburi Accord.
Well,
Now, if he was bold enough to breach an accord, such as Aburi Accord, what makes him think that people will actually believe?
The stories that they know Nigeria has a way, and that's why I have issue with Nigerian establishment. Nigerian history is distorted by
Convoluted.
people who want to. Is the history according to Gowon, history according to Ojukwu, history according to Balewa, history according to. Let these people come out with real history, because if you read different versions of this Aburi Accord, you find out that it wasn't Gowon, it was his advisors.
But the onus was on him.
Well, his advisors, there are people, you know, in military. In military, you come back as a general. If you are supervising over, you have a limit to certain things where your people will come and say, for tactical reason, for intelligent reason, do not take the decisions. It would be suicidal for you to still sit down looking at your general sitting in your executive council and say, it must be so. So for him to go back on that, it's easy for Nigerians to then say, go on. But a lot of people were there, and some of them were still alive up to today. You know, they're in military then. And they decided to go back on Aburi. But that's by the way. We are talking about his birthday, and only him and his God. What we are saying, if he comes out, like he said, look at Nigeria, said what he fought for. How many years now? 1970 to 1967. With the life wasted, property wasted, destroyed, and that essence of no victor, no vanquish, and all the things that process, and the stigma that is hanging over the heads of people, and he's still alive. Are we really? That's why you said maybe he's speaking like somebody who has regret. Because the whole essence, as far as I'm concerned, of keeping Nigeria one has not been achieved fully.
The federal character thing is still...
Beyond the federal character, what has happened in the recent past keep happening. We find it's not like we're talking about a particular region. Sunday Igboho, a few days ago, went to submit a petition to the UK government that the Arewa state, Oduduwa state, want to leave. The Middle Belt, the other day we sat here on this, and they said they want to secede and pull away, meaning that the snake that probably beat some regions in 1967 are just, with his tail, I just touched the tail to some of the regions. How many years after? Almost 60 years after. So now that we have to look at it and said, is Nigeria on the path of moving forward? Are we going back? I keep saying we make one step forward and then 20 back, and we're running around a circle. A lot of things are there to settle. The stigma and the people who say, have you sorted them out? Where even more people are saying they want to pull away. That means something is wrong. Some people fought to pull away, since these people, you pressed them down and said they must stay back, and a lot of them died. The figure that the world gave was 3 million, which we know it was beyond that. There are some people unrecorded that then where data collection in this part of the world was difficult. So we know that it was more than that. If we sacrifice that to keep Nigeria one, in 2024, are we one? Has what happened in the past stopped happening in recent future? Are people satisfied that they're patriotic and now beat their chest and say, we are Nigerians and we are proud, or we regret that we didn't pull out? Do Nigerians say, okay, you couldn't have been better? And now that we now see the true light, that it was good we remain in Nigeria. When people are still fighting and said, we want to go. And that's one of the things that Gowon is still alive. They fought. And with some of the people who attended his birthday, praising him, some people, Obasanjo want to
be like him.
When he grows up. It was Obasanjo that collected the instrument of handover from Biafra, and then all those, he led an amphibious battalion that in Port Harcourt, whatever he did in the war, all of them are still alive. Is Nigeria they fought for? Because it's not good enough to say we fought to keep Nigeria one. If you fought to keep Nigeria one in the past, what are you doing now to keep Nigeria one?
Well, Chris, if we continue like this, we'll have a lot to say about this. And of course, you can go and read about the Civil War.
No, for see, most of the, my worry, somebody like you, Josh.
Yes.
No, Josh
what do you know?
Josh is not aware.
No, what do you know? But because this is a history, Nigerians. I'm not talking because I am so not the. People are picking information. This should be information every young Nigerian should know. The truth. Because it's good that the Bible says know the truth, and the only truth that set you free.
Do you even think that they want us to know the truth? Because history has been taken out of the school's curriculum.
Some Nigerian politicians think that by distorting the truth and by trying to press down on some people but they are wrong. The world is so small now that some information people are getting about Nigeria, even them that are suppressing history don't have that.
So, Chris, my question is, what do you think will happen when people now start getting to know the truth, like the whole?
They will know the truth. They will start reading. There are some people that have been pushed to fight and hate each other. They will now say, "Oh, bros, come."
But we are seeing snippets of that. You know,
no,
people coming out to say
it's not coming.
We have been raised to hate this particular.
I will tell you a story.
Tribe or people.
A man is stammers. You know, he has problem with talking, and he was traveling. He stopped, and he doesn't know the area, so he went to find out, make inquiries from Keke Okada riders who was parked. Unfortunately, he didn't know that the man he was going to find out from is also a stammerer. So he went and know how stammerer
what fella calls double wahala for anybody.
And I said, ho, 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 hey, excuse me, sir. I am going to sigi, nature.
Wow, he's a for me.
Then the man he was trying to find out from turned and said, which kind of wahala be this? He moved away. He still followed him, and you know how stammerers talk. He was beating and hitting, and then, no, be you I am talking to. The man removed his shirt. In annoyance, because the stammerer to carry the man, put him on the ground, start hitting punches. Until a good Samaritan came and said, "Oh boy, what did this innocent man do to you? Like you are just hitting him and he's not saying anything. Get up, tell us what he did to you." And he opened up to talk. I was just on my own. And this man came to
mock me.
Then I asked the man he was hitting, what did you do? He opened his mouth to say, I came to. The man said,
he's okay.
So at that point, two of them hugged themselves and said, I did not know you. So he said, so you too, stammers too? The other man, and they hugged themselves. What will happen to Nigeria when people get to know the truth? These common enemies of politicians who set us against each other in Nigeria, that God has put us together to live. When we know the truth, He will set us free. We now begin to live again as a nation where we travel around Nigeria anywhere and we have opportunities, we make friends around and we live as a nation. It's not where we always feel unsafe, even in our immediate. They so much destabilize this nation that I said, if they say we have 450 tribes, Nigeria has been destabilized into 450 segments. So how can 450 segmented people live together? So the politicians know what they don't want us to come together. Once Nigerians come together and know their history Every of these satanic politicians will run through the wall and run away. They will jump through the window and go.
Well, make it a point of contact or a point of assignment for you to learn about Nigeria today, about the history of Nigeria, and
That's
something
right.
you should know.
That's
because
right.
I know I want to go and read this Gowon story. But let's move on to something else. Kaduna Kogi holds local government polls today. And of course, we've known for a very long time how Kogi's election usually looks like. I mean, the last two, when the governor brought helicopter down to shoot his own citizens. So please, Kogi State is hold local government polls today. What should we be expecting from these two states?
The usual. What do you want me to say?
What's the usual?
What party rules it? That's what I ask you. Because when you say local government election, is it the APGA? Is it PDP? Oh, is it? That is a Kogi. So your guess is as good as mine. It's just a complete waste until something happens. From what we have, you start from the known to the unknown. From what we have seen, we are not expecting. What are we just? Let's talk about more important thing, because we are just expecting walkover. The winner takes it all. Because everybody who is a governor sitting there, if he doesn't deliver his state, he will look like you're a coward. But it's the stupid thing. The stupid thing that we say democracy is beautiful. You have to have different voices to speak to each other and then sieve out and filter the truth and work with it. But here, we want all those kind of monotonous things you hear from National Assembly. Those who say, yeah, they will even wait for the no who say no. And they say, that's it, So what you want me to say? Kogi, Kaduna, the year have it. Let's move.
All right, Chris, it's about that time.
Again?
It's about that time, we've been told. But before we leave, you talked about the years have it. So there's this news piece here. I just want you to talk about it. Just a little bit, gloss over it. The many controversies of the Senate president.
You read my mind.
Akpabio, just your thoughts very quickly.
I mean, he came up to say anywhere you see free food, go and eat.
Oh my goodness, that man is synonymous with controversies and just statements that actually don't make so much sense.
The thing has made headlines. There are so many controversies surrounding Senate president.
Yeah.
And he's still sitting there.
Yeah.
He is the man who was caught on live television and audio and video, saying that if you go to your pigeonhole, you'll find a prayer, what they call it. And it was everybody
package.
So many things. Now the president sits down and said, why they are doing this, we are eating, we're enjoying. This is the same person who said, anywhere you see food, for this kind of, and I said, this is what the third respected person of this country. So, and so many other controversies that surround, there was this rumor everywhere that the DSS has occupied the National Assembly because of rumors of impeachment. Now then Sabi. As far as we are concerned, whether you pitch or pitch you, I pitch you, pitch you. Like this, somebody argued that this to use music, then he did one video. Pitch you, I pitch you, he did all those nonsense. Does have nothing to do with us as Nigerians. Chris. The more you pitch, pitch. After all, we are not involved in selecting and putting in there. So if you want to pitch, you pitch. If you don't want pitch, as far as we know.
Chris, thank you. If we had more time, we'll keep you here. We'll have this
Chris is such a
hopefully, I'm still saying that one day we'll give him 1 hour. We'll just talk and then hear what
it's just a wish, the political wish of Nigerians. You try it one day. Let's talk about Nigeria.
No problem.
In fact, 10 hours is not enough to talk about Nigeria.
It's not enough to
well, thank you very much for your contribution. And
thank you. It's my pleasure.
It's nice to have you here. Don't forget to go to all of our social media platforms. Go like, share, and comment. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. You can get all of our excerpts on Instagram, TikTok, and still on Facebook. We'll see you after this.